Today we are going to talk about the kind of English that changes how people see you. Not classroom English, not textbook English. Real English that sounds calm, confident, and intelligent in everyday life. If you have reached an intermediate level, this lesson is for you. You already know basic grammar. You can understand conversations. Now the next step is to sound natural, thoughtful, and mature when you speak. That is what we will build today. Let us begin with something important. Many learners try to speak fast to sound fluent. That is a mistake. Real confidence does not come from speed. It comes from clarity. It comes from choosing the right words. It comes from knowing when to pause. Today you will hear English that flows slowly and clearly, the way educated speakers communicate in real life. Imagine you are sitting in a quiet cafe. You are talking with someone intelligent. There is no pressure, no rush, just a meaningful conversation. That is the feeling you should have while listening to this lesson. We will talk about everyday life, ideas, opinions, work, ambition, and personal growth. You will hear useful expressions again and again, but naturally inside meaningful sentences. Let us start with a simple but powerful idea. The way you speak shapes the way people treat you. When your English sounds rushed and broken, people focus on your mistakes. When your English sounds calm and structured, people focus on your ideas. This is not about being perfect. This is about being intentional. For example, instead of saying, "I think this thing is not good maybe," you can say, "I do not think this is the best option." Both sentences share the same idea, but the second sounds clear, confident, and professional. This is the level we are working toward. Now think about your daily life. You meet people. You talk to friends. You explain things. You share opinions. These are the moments where advanced English becomes useful. Let us take a situation. Someone asks you, "How is your work going?" A basic answer might be, "It is fine, busy." A more advanced, natural answer could be, "It has been quite busy lately, but I am learning a lot and making progress." That sounds thoughtful. That sounds real. Notice something important. The grammar is not complicated. The vocabulary is not rare. The power comes from structure and tone. That is what strong English really is. Now let us talk about expressing opinions. Many people are afraid to share opinions in English because they fear making mistakes. But opinions are where your personality lives. Without them, your English sounds empty. Instead of saying, "I think this is good," you can say, "In my opinion, this is a smart approach." Instead of saying, "This is bad," you can say, "I am not fully convinced this will work in the long run." Instead of saying, "I agree," you can say, "That makes a lot of sense to me." These small changes make your English sound mature and intelligent. Now imagine you are in a conversation about life goals. Someone says, "What do you want to achieve in the future?" A simple answer could be, "I want to be successful." A stronger answer could be, "I want to build a life where I am constantly growing, learning, and creating meaningful work." This answer feels deeper. It feels personal. It feels real. Advanced English is not about sounding like a dictionary. It is about sounding like a human being with depth. Let us talk about storytelling. People love stories. Even simple stories become powerful when told with calm English. You could say, "Yesterday I went to market. It was crowded. I bought food." Or you could say, "Yesterday I went to the market and it was surprisingly crowded. It reminded me how busy the city has become recently." Same event, very different impact. Now listen to this carefully. The goal is not to memorize these sentences. The goal is to absorb the rhythm, the structure, the style. Over time, your brain begins to copy this pattern naturally. This is how real fluency develops. Let us move to another powerful area, emotional expression. Many learners can describe objects but struggle to describe feelings. Yet feelings are what connect us as humans. Instead of saying, "I am sad," you could say, "I have been feeling a little overwhelmed lately." Instead of saying, "I am happy," you could say, "I feel genuinely grateful for how things are going right now." Instead of saying, "I am angry," you could say, "That situation really frustrated me, to be honest." This kind of language feels real. It feels adult. It feels authentic. Now think about conversations in professional environments. Maybe you talk to clients. Maybe you speak with coworkers. Maybe you interact with people online. Your English becomes your reputation. If someone asks, "Can you finish this today?" A weak answer is, "Yes, maybe." A strong answer is, "Yes, I should be able to complete it by the end of the day." Clarity builds trust. If you need more time, instead of saying, "I cannot," you can say, "I will need a bit more time to make sure the quality is strong." That sounds responsible, not weak. These are not tricks. This is how professionals communicate. Now let us slow down and reflect. Fluent English is not built by force. It is built by exposure, by listening, by absorbing, by letting your mind become familiar with the patterns of good language. That is why this style of learning works so well. You are not memorizing grammar rules. You are experiencing the language the way children experience it, naturally, calmly, repeatedly. Let us talk about confidence again, because this is the heart of communication. Many people know enough English but still hesitate. They doubt themselves. They think too much before speaking. This hesitation often creates more mistakes than the lack of knowledge. Confidence grows when your mind feels familiar with the language, when phrases feel normal, when sentences feel comfortable. That is why listening to long-form English like this is powerful. It trains your inner voice. Over time, your thoughts begin to form in English, not through translation, but naturally. Now imagine this version of yourself. You enter a conversation. You speak calmly. You do not rush. You choose words carefully. People listen. People respect your voice. This is not a dream. This is a skill. And like every skill, it grows with the right exposure. Let us explore another topic, curiosity. Intelligent conversations often begin with curiosity. Asking thoughtful questions is part of advanced communication. Instead of asking, "Why?" in a flat way, you can ask, "What made you come to that conclusion?" Instead of saying, "How?" you can say, "How did you approach that challenge?" Instead of saying, "What happened?" you can say, "What led to that situation?" These questions feel deeper. They invite real conversation. When you speak like this, people feel that you are truly engaged. They feel heard. They feel valued. That is the power of language. Now let us talk about presence. Have you ever noticed how some people speak slowly, but everyone listens? That is presence. That comes from clarity, confidence, and intention. You do not need complex words to create presence. You need calm delivery and thoughtful structure. For example, saying, "Let me explain this clearly," already shows confidence. Saying, "Take a moment to think about this," shows control. Saying, "Here is what I truly believe," shows authenticity. These phrases are simple, yet powerful. Now imagine using this kind of English in your videos, in your conversations, in your work. Your personality comes forward. Your ideas carry weight. This is what advanced English really means. Let us shift to another area, describing ideas. Basic English often sounds like this. "This idea is good." Advanced English sounds like this. "This idea has a lot of potential if it is developed thoughtfully." Basic. "This plan is bad." Advanced. "This plan might create more problems than it solves." Basic. "This is important." Advanced. "This is far more important than it might seem at first." Notice the pattern. You are not adding difficulty. You are adding depth. This is how thinkers speak. This is how leaders speak. Now take a breath and relax. You do not need to master everything today. You simply need to stay connected to this style of English. Let it become familiar. Let it become comfortable. Your brain is constantly learning even when you are not trying. That is why listening matters. Let us talk about personal identity. When you speak English well, you are not becoming someone else. You are expressing yourself more clearly. Your thoughts, your values, your perspective. You might say something like, "I believe consistency matters more than motivation." Or, "I have learned that patience often creates better results than speed." Or, "I used to think success was about money, but now I see it as about freedom." These are not just sentences. These are reflections of a thoughtful mind. And when you can express these ideas in English, your communication becomes powerful. Now imagine someone listening to you speak like this. They do not hear a language learner. They hear a person with depth. That is the level you are moving toward. Let us continue. In daily life, you often explain things. Maybe you explain an idea to a friend. Maybe you explain a concept to a customer. Explanation is an advanced skill. Instead of saying, "It works like this," you can say, "Let me walk you through how this works." Instead of saying, "It is difficult," you can say, "It can be challenging at first, but it becomes easier with time." Instead of saying, "You must do this," you can say, "I would recommend starting with this approach. This sounds helpful. This sounds professional. This sounds considerate." Now think about disagreement. Advanced English allows you to disagree without sounding aggressive. Instead of saying, "You are wrong," you can say, "I see it a little differently." Instead of saying, "That is stupid," you can say, "I am not sure that approach will lead to the outcome you want." Instead of saying, "No," you can say, "I understand your point, but I have some concerns about it." This is the language of maturity. People who speak this way are respected, even when they disagree. Now let us talk about silence. Yes, silence is part of advanced communication. You do not need to fill every moment with words. Thoughtful pauses show confidence. They show control. When you listen fully, when you respond calmly, your English feels natural and strong. This is why slow, clear English is so effective. Now imagine your future. You create content. You speak to a global audience. People listen because your voice feels calm. Your ideas feel clear. Your English feels natural. This is not about copying anyone else. This is about developing your own voice through strong language. You are not trying to impress. You are trying to connect. That is the true goal of communication. Let us move toward the final part of this lesson. I want you to understand something deeply. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not incapable. You are simply in the process of growth. Every strong speaker was once a beginner. Every confident communicator once struggled with words. The difference is consistency. Listening regularly, absorbing the patterns, staying connected to the language. That is how progress happens. This lesson is not just content, it is training for your mind. It is shaping the way you think in English. It is shaping the way you express yourself. Over time, you will notice something beautiful. You will stop translating. You will stop forcing. You will start expressing. That is when English becomes yours. And when English becomes yours, your voice becomes stronger. Your presence becomes clearer. Your confidence becomes visible. Stay connected to this process. Stay consistent. Stay patient. You are building something real, and that journey is already underway. Word count, 2012.